This is the funniest offseason we've ever had.
Yeah, laugh it up.
During this play, we had a great pass from Kuminga to Curry, but sadly Curry was on the bench and not in the game. This one is just flat out embarrassing. LeBron James taught this young buck a lesson when he took this player's seat and then he actually points behind him and makes him stand behind the bench during the game because there were no more seats left. This is brutal. From this player wearing his shorts backwards to the craziest hairstyles, we collected the funniest moments. Now, last year, Dillon Brooks was a major point of discussion, but this year he's back. And he found his way right back into the media by leading a dance circle at mid-court of the Rockets arena. I just hope this team can play as good as they dance. Fans online also loved it this offseason when Dillon Brooks actually got ejected from a preseason game for a below-the-belt hit on a Pacers player. I just think it's hilarious that this is his preseason debut, and within 5 minutes of the game, dude's already getting ejected from the actual game. Another guy we hear a lot about is Patrick Beverley, and he also got kicked out of a preseason game. First, he tried to hit the ball out of a Nets player's hand, and I mean, dude just came in ready to swipe. I don't know why he felt the need to do this, but he got teed up for this. Then later, he's on the bench and he is chirping at Ben Simmons. And while he's not even in the game, he gets a technical called and he gets kicked right out. And the funniest part is actually their coach's reaction to him getting the technical and ejected. He just looks like a dad who's super disappointed in his son. Now, these next moments coming up just get even wilder, like this one where Jaylen Brown checked into a game with his shorts on backwards. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know how this even happens. Let's just say he accidentally put them on like that. How did not one of the Celtics sideline players tell him or even notice? But we're not done with Brown just yet, because this video surfaced of him losing his left hand dribble and fans went crazy. And it's even crazy that the Celtics posted this on their social media, especially after last year's finals. So many people remember Game 7 against the Heat last year when he could not keep a dribble for his life, and there was a ton of tweets about people saying they were trying to force him to his left. Well, looks like he still doesn't have his left. LeBron James is in the media no matter what he does, but he did some pretty funny things this offseason, like sharing his game picks for the NFL each week and making it very clear that he is not a Cowboys fan.
I know we got a lot of Cowboy fans in America. I'm not one of them. I'm going with the Niners. LeBron James.
I'm sorry, Dallas fans. He also left a Lakers preseason game at halftime after playing in the first half and then came back in a completely different fit and sat on the bench. I feel like no one else could get away with this, but because he's LeBron, it's like, who cares? But while talking about LeCap, you also have to see his reaction to finding out he's the oldest player in the NBA.
LeBron James is the oldest player in the NBA. Your reaction?
A very interesting story that happened during this offseason was Kai Jones. There was a lot of drama with him, and so let's get into some of it. This guy is the former first-round pick for the Hornets, and he went onto Twitter this offseason and he talked a lot of trash, saying he's better than guys like LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal. He also shared a bunch of videos of him dancing for no reason, and while they were hilarious, no one really knew why he was doing it. Now, after a bunch of other crazy tweets, and the Hornets said that Jones would be away from the team for a period of time, and then he requested a trade online, causing the Hornets to waive him altogether. Now, a video came out of him dancing at his girlfriend's soccer game right around the same time and had a hilarious interaction with Terrence Ross that went like this. Though this whole situation was pretty funny and very weird, I do hope that Kai Jones is doing okay.
I just stay in my zone in the moment. Lately, I've been harder than them Trojans with the war. Lately, I've been stacking up infinity galore.
Yeah, laugh it up.
So the NBA season is finally upon us, and maybe you're feeling sad because you're like me and your team lost their best players this offseason. Well, that's why I'm stoked to share today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, and this is so important because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in just your city. One of the things I struggle with is ADHD, and being able to talk to a therapist about my focus and mood has been super helpful for me and brought a lot of clarity and tools needed for me to live a life where I felt like I could function better and more clearly. And BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist therapist easier than ever because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. And it's pretty wild that over 4.1 million people have decided to get help and get happy with BetterHelp. And if you want to get 10% off of your first month of BetterHelp, go to betterhelp.com/basketball club, or you can use the link down in the description. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. Now, during the offseason, we saw Team USA have a disappointing outcome, not even getting a medal and losing 3 out of their last 4 games. While this definitely sucked in the moment, rumor has it that LeBron is recruiting the Avengers, players like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Also, Joel Embiid chose to represent the USA in the next Olympics, so I'm going to say it right now, they're not going to lose next summer, and I'm insanely excited. And we don't know if James Harden is going to play for Team USA, but we do know that he called out the 76ers front office during a trip to China, calling Daryl Morey a liar on video.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
And more recently, he actually skipped a 76ers practice altogether. He has requested a trade again, and his preferred destination is the Clippers. He really just can't stay put. With one of the funniest off seasons ever, we have to talk about one of the funniest NBA players, Jokic. This video came out of him showing up back to work, looking all sad to be showing up to his 9-to-5 job when summer break just came to an end. You can tell he just wants to be back home with his horses. And when he got asked if this was the most fun summer he's ever had, this was his response.
This past summer, the most fun you've had since you've been in the NBA?
No, I think it's actually opposite.
Wait, why?
Because we played 2.5 extra months.
He actually said it was the opposite of fun after winning a championship. Wow. He was also caught on the sidelines just chilling on his phone while his team is getting ready for practice, and dude's just watching videos.
Who's that? No. Oh, scouting horses. Who's scouting?
I love this man, and he is already primed for another MVP season. I just feel it. Now, the king of YouTube, Mr. Beast, now has his patch on the Charlotte Hornets jerseys for this season. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, and I think it's kind of fitting for the Charlotte Hornets since they have a pretty young team. And apparently Mr. Beast can ball a little bit, so who knows, maybe he will show up and scrimmage them in practice. I don't know, but I would love to see that. One of the funniest moments this season was Jimmy Butler changing his hair again for Media Day. The reason this is so funny is because Media Day is when they take all the pictures for the whole year. And so now during the 2023 to 2024 season, you get to enjoy these pictures of Jimmy Butler when the Heat get to play on TV. Legend. And I have to say, this is even crazier than his last hairstyle. Now that it's been 2 years back to back, I really hope that this becomes a tradition for Jimmy Butler because it just gets better and better. And I'm going to look forward to Media Day every single year now. And this emo look really had NBA Twitter buzzing, and Richard Jefferson, the baldest player in NBA history, copied it on ESPN.
Perk, what do you think? Hey! I was going to do some eyeliner.
This is truly just a weird time to be an NBA fan. And I just love that Jimmy decided to go all in on this look, even painting his fingernails black.
They look good.
No, they don't. I bite my nails. Leave me alone.
This was truly so funny. This guy's got to be the biggest troll in the NBA.
Come on, don't get insecure. They look great.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm never insecure. That's one thing you do not have to worry about.
And as we all know, Damian Lillard ended up going to the Bucks instead of Miami. And maybe this is why Jimmy went all emo.
This is my emotional state.
And speaking of new hairstyles, we have to talk about Kyle Kuzma's interesting hairdo. I don't really know what to call this, but he's got those kissed lips with the lipstick on his hair. And I'm not a big fan of this, you know, not my kind of taste.
Did he lose a bet?
Now, we may have a new all-time great rivalry brewing, and we saw glimpses of it this offseason. Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren went at it during their preseason game. We saw Wemby get a tough and one and then flex on Holmgren. I just thought this was a little bit funny and a tiny bit cringe. There's just a difference when you see Wembanyama flex on somebody and then you see LeBron James flex on somebody. I don't know, maybe it's the arm size. But Chet got the last laugh, scoring 21 points and taking the dub. These guys are going to be going at it over the years and I can't wait to watch. Speaking though of Wembanyama, when you see a guy this tall, I don't know, I assume that he is not flexible. I'm like, there's no chance this guy can touch his toes when he is 10 feet tall. But turns out Victor Wembanyama is incredibly flexible, and watching him do this, it's like, it's weird. This guy is literally an alien, and I mean that in the best way possible. Now, when the Spurs were playing the Miami Heat, Wembanyama dunked over Thomas Bryant, and his reaction to this was just incredible. You can tell this guy regretted standing in the key. Luckily, Steph Curry is not scared of Wemby because he wanted to go up against him during the jump off at the beginning of the game, and guess who won? Well, not Steph. Now, there's been a lot of hype around Victor Wembanyama. Even the Dallas Mavericks during practice are trying to replicate Victor Wembanyama's arms up in the air blocking shots. If you want to see the funniest moments from last season, then click on the screen. We'll see you guys in the next video.